is Heather Stovall, and I'm the Smart Genealogist. I'm here today with another edition of Family History the Smart Way. I thought today that we'd talk a little bit more about family traditions. Sometimes a family tradition is as simple as a running joke. So I thought I'd share with you a running joke that was in our family for years. Like most parents, my mom would talk about things that happened in her childhood and in her family and other things that she wanted to share. Especially as she was also a genealogist, she felt this was a really important thing to do with her kids. The running joke came about, I think I was a teenager, but I might have been even younger when the running joke started. And the joke was that we had better listen to her carefully as she told us these stories, because she was going to add a test into her will, and how much we inherited was going to be determined by how well we did on the test. This running joke carried on for decades, and it would sometimes come up in family conversation. A little extra onto that running joke was the fact that Mom was always really interested in the Titanic because, according to her parents, I believe it was her mother's side, that her mother, when she was a child, was going to be moving to Canada with her parents, and that they were going to be taking the ship, the Titanic. Now, of course, this is a common family legend. The reason that they didn't go on the Titanic was that the my grandmother's parents' sister had gone blind, and that her husband had just died, and so she was needing more help around the house and basically with the living at the time, and so they decided to stay in England. Whether or not it was true that they were going to go on the Titanic or not, it was something that my mom liked to discuss and talk about how they would have been on the Titanic. So the running joke among us kids was that the answer to all of the test questions was going to be the Titanic. Another example of how this running joke had continued on for a long time was about maybe 25, maybe even 30 years ago. I'd have to figure it out. My mom had finished writing the memoirs of her childhood in England during the war years. And she had gone and had gotten a number of copies bound and gave them out as Christmas gifts. And we were at my sister Donna's house for Christmas, and her son, who I think was about 6 or 7 at the time, opened up his copy and said, "Hey, look, it's the answer key." So it had gone on and was such a joke that even the young grandchildren knew the joke. I'm pretty sure that my sister's grandkids, who are all relatively young right now, um, also knew or know about that joke. Well, they especially do now. So, anyway, as it happens, my mom died last year, and as my sister was the executrix for the will, and it turns out there was a test with the will. It didn't actually determine how much we inherited, but it was there. So my sister just had a quick glance at the pages and saw that there was maybe 15 or 20 questions, but she didn't read them, or, at least so she tells us. Um, so yesterday was my mom's birthday, and so all of us remaining kids and a bunch of the grandchildren and even some great-grandchildren got together through Zoom because we're at various locations, and we took the test. Amazingly enough, the Titanic was not the answer for any of the questions. um, Also, my mom did not include an answer key. So there were 15 questions, and there's about, I think, 5 that we do not know the answer to because they were not in my mom's childhood memoirs, those particular 5 answers. Um, I, 3 of the questions that we don't know the answer to, I'm pretty sure I had seen a document in the genealogy that I inherited from my mom that will answer the question. I just have to remember where I put it because I'm still in the process of sourcing or organizing the documents I received. In any case, the questions were pretty interesting. They included such things as what year did my mom immigrate to Canada, and what boat did she take, and um, where did she leave England from, and where did she arrive in Canada? Those were 4 of the questions. Most of us did pretty good on the year that she had emigrated, but we don't know the boat. We aren't sure, 100% sure of where she left from, unless, of course, you want to just say England. And we're not agreed on which port that she arrived on, although Donna does say that Mom traveled to Saskatchewan from Montreal, so it was probably Montreal. I had thought it was Halifax. There were also questions like, what was the address of the where her parents lived when she was born, which, as she was born at home, would be where was she born? The maiden name of her mother, um, uh, who was her first childhood best friend, what school did she go to, what senior school did she go to. It was actually a much harder test than I think we had thought of, but overall, I think we did pretty good. At the very least, we know which of us siblings, you know, paid a lot of attention and which maybe didn't quite so much. In any case, it was an interesting family tradition. I was kind of disappointed when I thought that there wasn't an actual test, so I'm glad that there was. I kind of think that Mom did this whole thing hoping that we would listen to her stories and learn some things. And I almost wonder if there isn't an answer key so that, maybe more of the kids will become genealogists to try to find out. So the question I have for you is, does your family have any running jokes? Um, are you going to continue them from one generation to the next? I am definitely planning on including a test with my will, and we'll see how, whether my kids listen to me or not. It was a fun way to spend my mom's first birthday after she had died, and I think that she's probably, up in heaven, smiling at us and enjoying that we celebrated her birthday in that way. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. and we will see you again soon. Bye.